It was one of those rainy afternoons that seemed to drag the entire city down into a quiet, gray stillness. In a narrow alley of the city, trash bags flapped in the wind. Puddles collected in the cracks of the pavement, and the only sound was the faint drip-drip of rain falling off old rooftops. That's where 11-year-old Jamie stormed out of the store, his face flushed with frustration. He'd just been scolded for knocking over a cereal display. His mom had told him to wait outside until he cooled down. With fists clenched, he walked quickly down the sidewalk, kicking a crushed soda can as he went. Then, he saw it. A dirty, shivering dog sat near a garbage bin, looking up with wide, sorrowful eyes. Its fur was matted and wet, ribs faintly visible through its muddy coat. It didn't bark, didn't growl, just stared. Jamie suddenly yelled, "Go away, you're disgusting." The dog didn't move. It just blinked, like it had heard this before. Jamie, still angry, picked up a rock and pretended to throw it. The dog flinched but didn't run. Across the street, an old man sitting by the hardware store had been watching. He shook his head slowly. "Sometimes the ones who look the worst are the ones who've done the most good," he muttered under his breath. Jamie heard him, but ignored it. What none of them knew was that this wasn't just some stray dog. It had a story, one that would unfold over the next few hours and change everything. As the storm grew heavier, Jamie took shelter under a bus stop. Moments later, he realized the dog had followed him not closely, just at a distance, as if it were watching over him. Annoyed, he tried to shoo it away again, but the dog didn't budge. Then something strange happened. A car sped by on the slick road too fast and splashed a wave of dirty water toward Jamie. Before he could react, the dog jumped in front of him, shielding him with its body. Jamie stood there, stunned. The dog whimpered softly, now soaking wet, but still watching him with those same tired, knowing eyes. Why would it do that? Suddenly curious, Jamie knelt down and looked closely. Around the dog's neck, under layers of mud, he saw something glinting, a worn, military-style ID tag. Jamie gently cleaned it with his sleeve. It read, "MAXK9 Unit, Retired, Service No, 17,823. A retired service dog. The old man from earlier had walked over by then. "Looks like Max found someone new to protect," he said with a smile. Jamie's heart twisted. He felt shame crawl up his spine. The same dog he had yelled at had just saved him. Jamie couldn't stop thinking about Max. That night, he looked up K9 Max 17,823 online, typing in what he could remember from the ID tag. To his surprise, a news article popped up. Max had served with the U.S. Army in Afghanistan. He had detected explosives, saved dozens of lives, and was once injured while protecting his unit during an ambush. After retirement, he was adopted by his handler, Sergeant David Keller. But after a tragic car crash that took David's life, Max had run off during the chaos and had been missing ever since. That was 3 years ago. Jamie's chest tightened. He had shouted at a hero, a forgotten one, living on the streets, misunderstood and invisible. The next morning, Jamie grabbed towels, an old blanket, and a sandwich. He walked the same streets, calling softly, "Max." It didn't take long. Max was curled up behind a dumpster, ears perking up when he heard Jamie's voice. The boy slowly approached and held out the sandwich. Max took it gently, tail wagging once. Jamie whispered, "I'm sorry." Max licked his hand, and in that quiet moment, something clicked. Jamie didn't just want to help Max, he needed to. Jamie brought Max home. His mom was hesitant at first, but when she read the article Jamie had found, her expression softened. They gave Max a bath, layers of dirt revealing patches of golden fur. Jamie helped trim his nails and made him a bed in the laundry room. Day by day, Max's strength returned. Word spread quickly. A local reporter picked up the story, and soon Max was on the evening news. People from the military community reached out. Some had served with Sergeant Keller and remembered Max. Jamie watched, amazed, as letters, medals, and even photos poured in. But not everything was smooth. One night, a car backfired in the streets and Max panicked. He ran, shaking, under the table. Eyes wide with terror, Jamie sat with him for an hour, whispering calming words. Max had survived war, but the trauma never left. That night, Jamie made a promise. You protected people your whole life. Now it's my turn to protect you. Weeks passed. Max was no longer a dirty shadow wandering the streets. He was a hero in his neighborhood, a gentle guardian for every kid walking to school, and a friend Jamie never knew he needed. Then, one day, a letter arrived. It was from the Keller family, David's parents. They had seen Max on the news. They cried when they saw him alive. Jamie and his mom invited them to visit. The reunion was overwhelming. Max recognized David's mother immediately and rested his head on her lap, tail thumping quietly. He still remembers. She whispered, tears streaming down her face. They chose to let Jamie keep Max. David would have wanted him to be with someone like you, his father said. Jamie looked down at Max. You're home now, he said softly. And as Max lay by the fireplace that night, peacefully asleep, Jamie knew. What began with anger and a shout had become a story of redemption, love, and healing. If this story touched your heart, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more emotional true animal stories. Every soul matters, even the ones that bark.